Thank you so much. So tonight's topic is buy local and support small business. So I'm going to give you a few statistics to think about. And even it started originally in our open networking, and our activity tonight was, what small business would you miss if they closed tomorrow? That was your activity. So I'd be curious to know some of your answers. So I'm going to make sure that we get some of this right. American Express says that approximately 2/3 of every dollar is spent at a small business stays within the community. 2/3, which is pretty impressive, I think. And I'll also say that the SBA said that there are 28.8 million small businesses, which account for like 99% of all U.S. businesses since the recession. It accounted for 67% of new jobs created. So I'm just kind of curious, how many of you were around in 2007, 8, 9 when the recession was with us? Oh, wow. How many of you are in the same business that you were in then? Keep your hand up. Wow, let's give them a round of applause. First of all, that says a ton. The recession during that time, how many of you, maybe you weren't in business during that time? Is there anybody who was not in business during that time? Okay, and the reason I ask that is this. During the recession, we had the biggest layoffs, the biggest business closings. Corporate America was shutting down left and right. Big box stores, tons of things was happening. The economy went just south. And it's also the biggest time of small business growth. Did you know that? Why do you think that was? No one was hiring, right? No one was hiring. So you had to go out and you had to create your own way. Because I was in business during that time. And if you listen to my introduction, I was a magician, an entertainer. But I also, just about the beginning of 2007, I didn't know this was coming. No one could have predicted this. But I opened a retail store. $3,000 a month to be in that retail space. The overhead, that was just the rent, not the lights, not the gas, not the water, not the employees and the payroll that came with that, not what it took to stock the shelves and all those things, but $3,000 just for the rent. The recession took place, and everyone says, we'll do less parties. We'll just go to Walmart instead of coming here. And my business closed that year. I kept it open as long as I possibly could. I robbed Peter to pay Paul. I mean, I was putting everything. And I finally closed the business because I just couldn't do it anymore. And the retail space at the time said, we're going to work to try to find someone to take the space, because I was in a 3-year contract. Guess how hard it was to find someone to take that space in the middle of a recession. So I paid it, and I paid it, and I paid it, until I just couldn't do it anymore. I lost my house. I lost almost everything. I mean, literally going to put things out on the yard in yard sales just so I could put food on the table. And I remembered what that was like. And I knew in that moment that I didn't want any other small business owner, any other salesperson like me to ever have to go through that. And that's why I love what I do today. That's why I love the networking that we're creating in AGC and other partnering organizations, because it was the answer for me. It got me to my next thing. It got me to the contacts that I needed to make and the people that I needed to reach. So what are some of the reasons that you should be supporting small business and local business? And small businesses provide a unique experience. They're different than the big box store. Some of my favorite small businesses, whenever I walk in, they know me by name, which is awesome, right? I mean, that is a feeling that you don't get when you go through the long lines at the cash register in the big box store. Local businesses support your community. And I get it, online's important and it's fast and it's easy, but Amazon's never going to sponsor your kid's baseball team. It's just not going to happen. And so I love supporting small business and local business because they give back to the community. They're better products. It's made better, it's cared for, it's taken care of. And if something goes wrong, they're more likely to bend over backwards to help take care of you. I know when I was running my own business and I was running a retail store, and someone would come in with a problem, and I would try my absolute best to make sure that they was taken care of. I mean, I would work overtime to make sure. Now, occasionally I met the person you couldn't help. You know the one, right? You just the one, right? But you work overtime to make sure that they're taken care of and that they're given the special attention they deserve. Supporting dreams. How many of you are doing what you've dreamt of doing? Is there anyone like that in the room? Like, this is your vision for your life. This is what you've worked to create. I think that deserves a round of applause too. You know what? Yes, please. And I'll tell you why it deserves a round of applause. Because some people get up every single day and hate going to work. They absolutely hate doing their job every single day. And those of us that have worked that entrepreneurial spirit to either start your own thing or to follow a franchise model that helps you create the dreams that you want, that deserves a round of applause. That is amazing, because when you support small business, when you support local business, you are supporting someone's dream. And whenever I went through the recession, there was no bailout for me. I mean, you know, the big motor companies got that bailout, but no one bailed out Travis. I had to do it myself. So you're supporting someone's dream. What about here locally? And I just pulled some of these, 2017, 2018 articles, some iconic businesses around the Twin Cities that are shutting their doors, and some of them after 40 years of being in business. And it could be for a variety of reasons, but did we do enough to patronize them, support them, to make sure that they were able to send their kids to college, to make sure that they were able to make their mortgage, to make sure they were able to do the things that they wanted to do? Tons and tons of businesses close their doors every single day. Not only in the Twin Cities, but all over the country. Some brands that you thought, and these made big news, right? So Rainbow was here before Travis was in Minnesota. But I've heard the stories, right? I mean, some of my closest friends have said, wow, we used to go to the Rainbow store and Mom and Dad would take us and it was great. And they were a local-based, Minnesota-based company, right? And that you would consider a big box store, right? So when they close, they make the news. When I closed, some of my customers, I'm sure, was disappointed or wondered what happened to my business or where I went, but it didn't make the front page of the paper, right? So this one, Savoy Pizza in St. Paul. I was lucky enough to go there many times, and people lined up around the corner on their last day to enjoy a slice of pizza, right? So I'm just saying it is important to support local business. So let me give you some more statistics. When you spend $100 to a locally owned business, $68 stays in the community. When you spend that with a local chain, $43 stay in the community. When you use an online retailer, $0 stay in your community. Let that sink in. Think about that before next time you click the button instead of stopping by. The revenue that's created from your purchases supports police, fire services that are there to help your community, to defend it, to make sure that families are taken care of and feel safe. They help maintain our streets and our utilities. They allow for growth and expansion, encourages local prosperity, conserves tax dollars, keeps money in your community, and again, supports someone's dream. So I'm going to ask for some of your participation now. And I would like to know from you, what are some of the small businesses, some of the local businesses that you would miss if they closed tomorrow? Someone shout something out to me.
Chuck and Don's.
Chuck and Don's. Awesome. All right, tell me about Chuck and Don's. What do you know about them?
They're an independent pet store.
Okay, independent store, retail store.
Retail store. They're getting bigger though, which is kind of sad. But
Okay.
The origins were so wonderful because it built itself. They were literally like doing dog boarding, and then people said, "Hey,
yeah.
can you order in some food for me?"
So it grew by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome, awesome. What's another one?
Pizzeria Lola.
Pizzariola?
Pizzeria Lola.
Ria-ola.
Pizzeria Lola. Pizzeria.
I'll never get it right. I'm sorry. I just like pizza. Yes, no. Local business. Where are they based?
In Minneapolis.
Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And they have 3 restaurants owned by a woman who is Asian.
Okay. Women-owned business. Minority-owned business.
Won the James Beard Award, and she does not have any chef training. She used to be an actor.
Oh, wow. That's a great story. Okay, someone else. Yes, in the back. What was it?
It's Henry and Son.
It's
Henry and Son.
Henry and Sons.
A wine.
A wine place.
Or they have some beer. They have all local beer. So they have Sterling.
Oh, nice.
And they're all local.
It sounds like my fiance would miss that one too. I'm just thinking. So, yeah. Local. Awesome. Let me tell you about some of the businesses that I would miss. I would miss Amy Tyson, Infinity Life Design. She's an AGC member, and she's one of my most trusted advisors. I would miss Les Hill. I don't see Les. Les is in the back. He's my personal business coach, one of my most trusted advisors, and an AGC member. I would miss Sarah Bungie, who's the regional partner of Master Networks, which was formed and birthed right here in Minnesota. There are a lot of businesses that are represented here in this room that I would miss. If Bo wasn't around with those yellow pants, right, I would miss him at the AGC events. I would miss AGC if it wasn't here. And we have a very simple theory, and that is that if we grow, you grow. If you grow, we grow. It's a team mentality. It's about working together. You see, as entrepreneurs, as salespeople, as solopreneurs, as startups, as major businesses or CEOs or executives, we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to. We can do it together. We can do it through AGC. The people that are here are not only invested in growing their business, they're invested in growing your business, which is why they are networking. Because when you come to networking events, you're not necessarily there to buy something, right? I'll just ask you the question. How many of you here came to buy something today? Anybody here come to buy? Anybody come here to sell anything? Yeah, we all have something to sell, right? We all have something to sell, be honest. We all have something to sell, but no one came to buy. So there's a disconnect in that way. But networking is I'm here to learn about you. I'm here to build a relationship with you. I'm here to get to know you better so I can help you grow your business. And when you grow, I grow. When I grow, you grow. When we grow, we all grow. And so I'll leave you with this. And that is when you buy from a small business, an actual person does a little happy dance. So that's a good reason to do business with small business. So I'm going to bring back up Jason. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed it.